Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Harmonics with Gregory Correa. I'm Gregory Correa. Man, it is such a privilege to have this band coming here with their manager. The band's name is Humma Kavula. Unbelievable, great musicians, and I'm going to introduce you to each of them right at this moment. So, could I get their manager first? What's your name, buddy?
My name's Metal Rob.
What do you do with these guys?
I help them get gigs and just keep track of them and
Keep us in line.
keep us in line. Yeah, keep them in line, and that's basically what I do.
That's excellent. And how about you, Michael?
Michael, singer in the band.
Oh, he's a singer just like myself. I love it. And of course, this is Glenn. Glenn, how you doing?
Hi, I'm Glenn, playing guitar.
Uh-huh. So you guys have been together how long?
So the core of the band formed in 2020,
Okay.
just before the pandemic.
I can understand that one.
And then eventually I was able to get Michael to come check us out.
Mm-hmm.
We had played previously about 25 years ago in the Midwest in a band called Capstone.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to pull in Michael. We both lived out in the Bay Area, and the rest is history.
So I noticed that you've given me a few things, some CDs. I've heard that your music is very unique. I love this, and we'll put this on later on. Your CD covers, absolutely amazing, and then one that you did before you were in Humma Kavula. So who does most of the writing? And you guys all go together, the three of you, or who has the main idea or comes in? Tell
Sure.
me.
So-
Because you're the vocalist, right?
Yeah, usually the vocals are kind of the last element to be added to everything. So it's a collaborative writing method where we all kind of have an idea that sparks into a jam session, and everybody kind of adds their pieces and their input and figures out kind of the flow of things. And
Yes.
we like figuring out kind of odd mechanisms to put the songs together.
Yeah, you guys have these different structures, man. They're pretty impressive, you know.
Yep. We want it to be a little bit awkward for people to first hear, but then that kind of sticks with them. And then there's a hook to it that makes the awkwardness feel right. So it's kind of always kind of a math problem for me, like figuring out how to count it out and where to put the pieces that fit vocally counter to the music.
Yes.
So it's almost always figuring out the math to make it feel appropriate.
Interesting. I like how you said that, mathematics, because music is, in very much ways, you know. What about yourself? So when you play guitar, right, do you come up with something, or it is collaborative, all four, like you were saying? Do you, first of all, what kind of guitar do you use?
I play
couple.
a 7-string Schecter.
Good for you.
Yeah, switched to
So you
7
got
a
6
few
fingers,
years
right?
back. But yeah, that adds extra low B strings, so we can get a little bit more heavier tones. And we're influenced by a lot of different progressive music.
Tell me who.
So I would say Dredge is there.
I've heard of that.
Bands like Deftones, they're not progressive, but that's kind of the energy we like to have. Soundgarden,
Oh, great. Yeah.
all bands like that. King Crimson is also an influence, huge influence.
Yes.
There's some, luminaries like that.
Absolutely.
And then I'll wait to like Meshuggah, Miles Davis,
I was just going to
all
say.
over the place.
That's kind of interesting because that whole scene, which you were talking earlier about Miles Davis, I mean, you gotta just love the guy, love musicians like that who just took it to a different level. You know what I'm saying? It's like Coltrane.
Yeah, Coltrane's amazing.
One of my best friends, and was actually my mentor, was Phil Edwood, who actually were best friends with all the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s jazz musician. They called him the master, and could you imagine you're talking to Duke Ellington, and then you talk to the next day you're in San Francisco and you're talking to Miles Davis, right? Like how we're talking right now. So it's kind of interesting. So what is your setup besides a mic? Do you use any special effects, or you scream different, or holler, or what do you do?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of texture on the vocals.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily feel that always helps with the writing of it. So when I'm writing, I try to keep it pretty basic and try to keep it more just a delay, more so than reverb. I don't like getting buried in verb. I like having just a bounce so it feels fuller. And then adding a little bit of grit, a little bit of texture to it when the parts call for it is really where I go. But I try to keep it not overly covered in effects. There are times when it feels right, but for the most part, it's use that sparingly and let the voice actually carry a lot of the work.
So, who are some of your, as a vocalist, and you probably have a long line of, you could say how many singers have inspired you, and even also instrumental guys too. When you were young to present time, who was some of the people that you really like to listen to? And when I point my finger, I just want you to go on TV because you're handsome. So
So I have a little bit of a different background in that when I was younger, there was no musical aspect to my life. I had no musical influence whatsoever. When the guys talk about their inspiration and what they listened to when they were younger, I don't have a lot of those references because it just wasn't a part of it. I come from a family with a deaf father, so there was a lot of
God bless your dad.
Yeah, he was amazing, but just had no musical space in the house. And so when we reference these old
The Beatles were the ones that actually changed the whole dynamic of a lot of this stuff. But I've always loved people that are in the macabre a little bit.
Yeah, the darker feel of things. The Nine Inch Nails is my throwback there. I love that kind of element to it. That's more on the you're expunging the negativity through that artistic expression. So when it comes to the feel of the show, I want it. When I go see shows, I want bands that feel like they're there and present and into it. If the band's not dancing, the crowd's not dancing, right? If you're not into it and don't make that connection, it's hard to expect your audience to have a connection to you. So I want it to feel like I'm into it when I'm playing, and because I'm into it. It's like what I feel at the moment.
You're the man. You're the guy. You're the front man. So as we end this great conversation, I'd like to have you guys back in the future. It's been a pleasure to meet you guys. It's sort of like an experience. I feel like I went to a math class, that these people really knew how to play music. I'd like to thank you, Glenn. Pleasure. I'd like to thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you to Middle Rob.
Yes,
Thank you for
thank
bringing
you.
these guys. So what we normally do when we're done, we look at the camera. I want you guys to all look at the camera. Give me a nice little smile. And it's always about peace and love and respect here. God bless you all. This is Gregory Correa. And have a good night. And go to this show, Humma Kavula. Thank you.
Thank
Peace
you.
and love.